Hey everyone, so today's video is all about engagement. What engagement is your dog's eagerness, willingness, their drive to engage with you, to have fun with you. Focus is kind of a little bit of foundation for engagement, but they are very different. So engagement, there are three different types of engagement that we use. There is personal play engagement, which is you are the reward. As the human, you are the reward. There is food engagement, which means, good boy, food is your reward. And then there is toy engagement, which means toy play is the reward. My most popular, obviously, is food, because food goes everywhere with us. For the dogs that do sports, or with Barrick, we're building a lot of his toy drive. We do a lot of toy play and a lot of toy engagement. But the goal with this, there's tons of movement, tons of praise, tons of just fun. For my personal dogs, everything is kind of fair game. I allow jumping. I, allow a little bit of nipping, a little bit of biting, a little bit of barking. All of this kind of stuff is appropriate. Assuming they're being mindful, they're being respectful, they're still using their brains. If I played a lot of, especially toy engagement with Sage and Daisy, we have to remind them to bring things down, that my arm does not give as much as a toy. But other than that, everything is kind of fair game. So the first one we're going to go over is personal play. So that is no food, no toys. Barrick. A lot of movement. Good. So he gets rewarded. He gets attention from me for paying attention. The more movement, that you add, the funner you are. If your dog enjoys pushing, you can do a little bit of pushing. Barrick. Yeah. Or if, they like being roughhouse with their faces. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Good job. Good boy. So all of that is fun. All of that is fair. Okay. The other thing that we do is toy engagement. What you want is usually in the beginning, especially if your dog has no out. This is still very new. Sorry. Excuse me being out of breath. But you're going to want two more or less identical toys. So that one is not more fun than the other. The other thing that I do with these, he does not get these toys unless we are playing. So that these toys become, very popular. Also so that he learns, in order to get these toys, you have to play with me. This is not something you can just go and chew on. You have to play with me in order to get them. So you can do a lot of luring, let them catch it. Good. Do a lot of tug play if they like to tug. The reason I don't typically use out, one, he doesn't really know out, but you let them win. Yay, he got the toy for tugging, awesome. So this is where your second toy comes into play. You can't see him, but I bet you can hear him. He's playing with that first toy. So this toy now becomes fun, so that he drops his second toy. Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Good. In order to get this toy. Good. Now some dogs are not toy motivated, so this is not always an option for some dogs. But for those dogs that are, this can be a very fun, there you go, good job, way to engage. So hopefully that makes some sense. Our final engagement is food. So when you are practicing these, good job. You're not going to do all three in one session like this. You are going to choose one. I encourage you to try them all, see if you can get good at all of them. But then, you know, build your food engagement the most, because I think it's going to be the most beneficial. But toy play can come into handy to use for anxiety, to use for a dog who fence fights, who fixates on something in the distance. It allows them to take, yes, that energy that they would otherwise be using to run, to bark. There's a couple dogs fence fighting over here now. It allows them to take that energy and place it onto a toy. My male, really any of my dogs in the backyard that do toy play, if we're playing, the world around us is irrelevant, because that is fun. That is where their energy is going. That's where their focus is going. But when you go to places, stores, food engagement is typically going to be your most popular form of rewarding, because it's easy. You can get a calm dog if you want it. You can rile them up a little if you want, but ideally food is a mediocre where, you know, they get to be crazy, but not as crazy as toy play or personal play. Yes. But it still works very similar. So if you remember our food luring and our focus, this combines those two a lot together. So I will use a lot of, good job, good, a lot of food luring to help get him in positions worth rewarding. But there is not always a rhyme or a reason. So you can, you know, spin them in circles. Good. Yeah. Which is just fun. It just makes their movement, they're, you know, engaging with you fun. They're not required to just sit there and look at you. You're moving, you're having fun, you're doing all of these things. You know, if you ask for that sit, yes, and then the reward becomes extremely fun. Okay, good. So hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, this is, food engagement is my most popular, because I think it is the most universal. Good boy. The easiest to use more often. That is not the words that I'm going for, but this is something, practice this with your dogs. Start in your backyard. When you come out into your front yard, put them on a long line, put them on a leash, hold on to the end of it, but otherwise pretend that leash does not exist. Yes. Reward often. So if your dog is food driven, use that food drive. Use that as your basis to start around big distractions. Then try some of the other stuff. Good. But the biggest thing with this, have fun. The whole purpose of engagement is to have fun with your dog. It is a training session that is based on nothing but playing with your dog. So, you know, your first session with this don't require a lot of sit, don't require a lot of down, don't require a lot of obedience, commands, rules. Save those. Do nothing but 3 minutes of just constant moving, constant rewarding. Good job. You constantly being fun. Do that for several times. Then, you know, a few days later, add in a sit. Then make your sit super fun. But teach them the game, then start adding rules. Hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have any questions over this, as always, don't hesitate to reach out to me and ask your questions personally. Good boy. Taking Cito. Otherwise, that is it for now. And I hope you guys are staying safe, having fun with your training, and having fun with your dogs. So that is bye for now from me and little Barrick.